So this is a video that I'm making in an effort to improve my lockpicking ability. It's a hobby for me, but I quite enjoy it, and I've run into some trouble lately. I was curious if anyone would be able to provide some advice. So, to start with, the pick that I'm using right now is basically a copy of the hook pick, I guess, from the Southard PXS14 kit. It is very similar. I tried to make them as similar as possible. I liked the smaller size of, this is a street sweeper bristle. It makes it a little bit more portable for when I'm leaving the house and, maybe forget my keys or something like that. It's happened once or twice. I usually have a small kit with me more than I have my keys. So, start off with, this is a master number 3. So I'll get my torque wrench in, apply a little bit of pressure after I get my pick to the back. Feel a little bit of resistance on what I think is number 3. I'm going to push up a little bit. Okay. Appears to be maxed out there. So one of the things that I've been doing is starting, push in, pop down until I can go past, pull up a little bit, and then I can push back until I hit the next pin, so I know that's pin number 1. And feels like the resistance isn't abnormal. It's not too much going on there, so I'll go to number 2, do the same thing. Where I'm feeling, now there I think I just overset the pin, so let's try again. Starting 1, feel resistance. I think that just set it. Yeah. Number 2, quite a bit of resistance. There we go. 3, feel like that should be set, but I think one of my problems is I'm oversetting pins, and I'm not sure exactly what to do about that. So I'll go to the next one here, number 4. Let's see. I do have the key to this lock, but I've never really looked at it, so I honestly have no idea what the set pattern looks like. Getting spring resistance on first pin, even if I push it all the way up. So that one's not really, I just felt a click. I may have just set a pin. I think fourth pin's the last one here. I'm going to increase my pressure a little bit. Trying to get enough light here so that maybe what I'm doing is more visible. So working first pin, definite spring tension on the first pin, but not any resistance when I go up aside from the spring. Second pin, feels like I'm set. Third pin, feels, I think, set. And the fourth pin may well be overset. So this is generally where I end up. I feel like I'm not really getting any more pins to set, and it feels like all that will set have set. And again, I think that may have something to do with oversetting one of my pins. As I go to the fourth, it feels pretty flush, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing wrong. See if we can hear how many clicks when I release. Hope there wasn't just one there. That's kind of where I'm at with my picking right now, is I feel like as I back and up. I'm not sure if I'm just not feeling them set. I'm forcing them to overset because of loose tolerances and rounded edges in the lock or what, but yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So hopefully you guys can shed some light on that. This is a Master M5. In both of these locks, I managed to get this one open once. I feel like that had a lot to do with luck that time. This one I was reliably able to pick it with a half diamond, but I seem to have lost that technique somewhere along the way. So, working on this one. Start at the first pin here. That pin's already stuck, and this pin or this lock has had a fair bit of exposure to the outdoors and the elements, so I think it's a little bit touchier. So we're gonna try and squeeze past that first pin. Second one, I feel some resistance. And again, I'm pushing against, going onto the first pin, lifting it up, so I'm pushing back until I know I hit the second pin. Pop down beneath it, and then pull up. And I'm not sure if that's the right technique. I'm trying to convey exactly what I'm doing, so maybe you guys can help. Third pin, I'm not sure, but it feels empty. Fourth pin, I don't know, definitely feels a bit empty on the fourth pin as well. So I'm definitely getting resistance on the second pin, but then it just kind of gets stuck up there. And I think a lot of the problem in this lock might just be pins getting stuck because of gunk in there. Not really sure. So, that sounded like I had set 3 pins, but I'm fairly certain that those were the key pins falling back down, in addition to any pins I may have set. So I think I may only have truly set 1 pin or 2 pins. The other clicks were other pins falling, the key pins themselves falling. I hope I'm using the right term there, maybe I'm not. So anyway, as I work my way back, kind of working each pin, just not getting a whole lot. And it feels like eventually I get to the point where, especially if I start with something like that, I get to the point where I am getting just spring tension on every pin instead of feeling more or less tension as if it were binding. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong there. And that, again, sounded like 3 pins, but I'm definitely thinking that those are not all proper pins being set. So this is a Brinks lock. It has 2 spool pins, one in, I think, the 3rd position, one in the 5th. Never taken it apart, so I'm not quite certain, but I believe that's where they are. Start with the first pin here. And again, I'm going in and rocking back to try and lift the pins. See if I feel any tension. That's normal springiness on the first pin, so that's probably not binding. So we'll do the second. I'm not sure if the pick is too big for this lock, maybe. I think I just set the second pin, felt the click, turned a little bit. Moving on to the third. Now the third is definitely binding, but it's binding that spool pin. And there have been times when I picked this lock that I feel as if it wants to push back as I'm trying to lift the pin, which would make sense, trying to get past that spool pin. But I don't really feel that anymore when I'm pressing up. I'm using fairly light pressure here. So let's see. I may have just set that pull spin spool pin, but let's see. This lock as well the keyway is kind of weird. This little shelf here is pretty small, so it's easy for your pick to slide off to the side. And I don't know if maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I should be picking more from the side here to prevent interference with the other pins. But I feel more comfortable picking it from using that shelf as a leverage point. Let's see. I'm also picking from kind of an awkward angle, so I'm not quite up on my game here. So that's that spool pin, and I feel like if I pull out as I push up, that's when you hear that springy, clicky sound. But that's not really helpful. That's just the pick coming back off of that pin. But again, I'm not getting any pressure here to try and unlock it. So anyway, that's some stuff I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully you'll have some insight for me as to what I might be doing wrong, and I can improve. Thanks. Bye.